All right, so we're back on practice quiz 6162, and we are ready for problem number 2. So we're going to find the angle between two vectors. Now, you guys, there's a little formula you got to remember. Does anybody happen to remember how we find the angle between two vectors? I'll give you a hint. It's cosine theta equals dot product. So on the top, we're going to put the dot product over magnitude times magnitude. That is exactly right. To find the cosine of the angle, we do the dot product. Okay, well, we just practiced that. The dot product is x times x, y times y, and add them together. So I got 15. Did you? Mm-hmm. Okay, Mason? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, in the bottom, go the two magnitudes. How do we find magnitudes? 45. Square the first. Square the second. So is that one going to be root 45? Don't worry about simplifying it. Remember, we're going to the calculator. What's this one? Root 5. Square root of 5. Now, remember my hint? Before we start typing this in, let's go ahead and multiply 45 times 5 so that we have just one radical. Don't want 2 down there. 2 is too hard. So, oh, that's kind of cool.
We multiply them?
I can't believe this. I just randomly made up numbers. I can't believe this happened. It's okay. It's fine. So now what do I type into my calculator? Second cosine this fraction. And what happens when you type in second cosine that fraction? You get 0. So the angle between these vectors is 0. And it's obvious now that I look at it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
This one goes over, if you plot the points,
yeah,
they're
like
the same vector.
Like
You're right. My bad, as kids say. I just randomly pick numbers, and I happen to pick numbers that make the same vector. But it doesn't matter. That's the process, right? That's the process.
I have a random question. The symbols above the letters, if I make it, is it an arrow?
This is the symbol for array.
Okay, so if I did that, it'd be wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because rays are different than vectors. The difference is, if you have 2 points, C and D, and you go like this, that means you're going forever. Array goes on forever. If you put just one tip on it, that indicates you're still moving from C to D, but you're stopping at D. All right, so to find the angle between two vectors, this is kind of a weird problem, but it doesn't matter. The process is the same. To find the angle between two vectors, you find their dot product, divide it by both magnitudes, and then second cosine. Dot product divided by both magnitudes, right? Second cosine. All right, number 3 is a repeat question. We're going to find the magnitude and direction of this vector. Now, the magnitude part you should all get easily, quickly. What's the magnitude? Square root of 13. Perfect. Everybody good with the square root of 13? All right. Now, the direction angle. We talked about this earlier from yesterday's quiz. Draw a picture. Write 2 down 3. Because the picture is going to help you figure out how you have to finagle your angle. I'm going to find this angle. how am I going to find it? Tangent, tangent. So I know the tangent of that angle is -3/2.
So second tangent.
So second tangent,
Do your stuff.
and it's going to come out to be a negative answer, and I really don't care about that.
Ignore it.
Yeah, all I really need to know is the size of this angle is 56.31.
So
Now I gotta figure out what I need to do with 56.31.
360 minus 56.
In this case, I'm going to subtract it from 360 because that is the answer to the question. The red angle is the answer. So to get the answer, I'm going to have to take 360 minus 56.31. So I'm going to get 303.69. I subtracted that right there. Yeah. Everybody okay with that?
So if we get a negative angle, we just disregard the negative.
Well, in this case, because you're, okay, look, this angle's in a triangle. It can't be negative. Okay, the math comes out because of the inverse tangent function, but you really need to know the size of that angle and then subtract it from 360.
Okay.
All right, so now we've got number 4, which is one that a couple of you asked about on the quizzes that we returned. We're going to find a unit vector. So Joe, this is one you asked me about. What is the first step if I want to find the unit vector for -3,1? Find its magnitude.
Yeah,
So the magnitude would be 9 plus 1,
yeah.
so square root of 10.
Not too
Look, the square root of 10 is not 2 root 5. The square root of 10 does not break down, right? Because it's just 2 and 5.
Yeah.
All right, so now what do I do? That's the first step. Now what?
Um,
5.
Hmm?
Oh.
I take both of these numbers and divide them by root 10. So the first step is we find the magnitude. The second step is we divide the coordinates by the magnitude. And then, if we have to reduce, we reduce. These we do. So that would be -3 root 10 over 10 and 1 root 10 over 10 as my final answer. Mason, you got this? Okay, come on, dude. This is our chance to get a really good grade. Especially since there's 10 of us, so we get private tutoring almost.
My first grade class was a class of 8.
That'd be awesome. I've never had a class of 8. All right, here we go. Find the components of the vector shown. All right. What do we mean by components?
The things. X and Y.
X and Y, thank you. So when we say find the components, we are finding X and Y. Now, the picture's already drawn for you. So let's close it off, make our butterfly bow tie triangle. Here's X and here's Y, right? How do we find X and Y?
Cosine 27.
Cosine and sine.
X over 19.
Now, remember, to find an angle, you use tangent, right? But to find, this isn't the problem, it was here. To find an angle, you use tangent. To find X and Y, you use sine and cosine. So cosine 27 equals X over 19, and sine 27 equals Y over 19. So you type into your calculator 19 cosine 27 and 19 sine 27. right? That's what we type in. So 19 cosine 27, 16.93, and 19 sine 27, 8.63. And then at some point, whether it's at the end or the beginning, some point, you've got to stop and say, look, I'm in quadrant 4. Something's going to be negative. So in this case, the negative would be the y. If you are not in quadrant 1, something's going to have to be made negative. All right, so tomorrow is another 16-point quiz. Just like this. Everybody clear on that? Okay. All right. Yeah, just enough time to finish our notes, I think. Yeah, if you want to come by after school, you can take the quiz today. If you want to come by after school.
This coming, tomorrow's quiz?
You don't in particular? Okay, well, you can if you want.
Do we have,
We can, are we
we don't
allowed
have
to,
flex
we can
today,
take it
right?
like a day before,
No,
if we want.
that's
If
reconciliation.
I'm available and say it's okay, yeah.
Oh, is
I
that?
don't know that.
Aren't you going to your theology class?
Okay, here we go. Let's get our notes out. We gotta finish these up.
If I have time after school, I might come take it.
That'd be great. All right, so we are going to go back to, oh, I don't need to video this because I already did. We're gonna go back to our notes. Page 51.